Another slide that has been presented very often in the past few months is this technology environment. If you notice at your left-hand side, my right, is basically the client environment, which is your agencies. And then following that, from left to right, would be the collaborative groups. Meaning instead of trying to put up your environment, and this afternoon there's going to be a lot of presentation, a lot of talks, breakaway sessions, to talk about the infrastructure in detail, so I'm not going to go into that this morning. But we have the collaborative group where you can now deploy. Just like in Amazon, that is the vision that we have. Deploy your sandbox, deploy your staging, and deploy your production environments in the government cloud. Moving towards the right would be the contextual registries. This would be a composite of all the authoritative registries that will be offered for the whole of government. That will, our priorities according to the EGMP would be the Personal Information Registry, land, business, and of course vehicles. And then of course on the rightmost side of that frame would be the intergovernmental data warehouse. It's basically one huge repository where nobody without the proper credentials and authority and permissions will even have access to. This primarily serves as a point of enrichment. What do I mean by that? When you look at the data, let's say the president wants to know how many are suffering with MERS, or how everybody coming from the Middle East. Now, the Department of Health will basically tell you the type of symptoms and tell you how to actually catch them, but it lacks the ability to say, okay, what type of industry is this person in? What type of commute does this person take? You know, what's the risk to the population? By providing this enrichment, this data warehouse, and we have the technology to allow us to ramp up to that quite immediately. We will be able to provide intelligent perspective into decision support capabilities of every government agency that we have today. Now, you're asking, okay, high goals. Actually, it's not. It's digested into very small chunks that we can actually deliver within a very short period of time. And again, in the solutions framework, we're talking only about the 15% of the solution, which is the techie side, and it's the easiest component to deploy. Our next question is that how do we sustain this? What is our strategy? What's iGov's strategy to sustain this, you might be asking. Difficulty that you're having as agencies and we're having as iGov and even ICTO is how to retain the best and the brightest talent. Well, that's where we're actually taking, we designed the specifications. Our intent is to procure world-class systems as a way to lure top brains in universities. We might not be able to immediately address salary grade issues immediately, but we can address the issue of you cannot get this exposure in this type of technology platform elsewhere in the country, but in government. So with the private industry, we are asking for your cooperation, for your support in providing and engaging with us in creating a sustainable future for government. How is this going to happen? First, we're now at the stage of defining knowledge creation focus areas. From that, we will be working to calibrate and collaborate with the different SUCs and industry in particular, inclusive of all the agencies. We are defining an apprenticeship program within ICTO and ASTI so that students that we get will get real-world experience. Our idea is not just to produce tech geeks. Our idea is to produce, in this program, complete professionals who are ready to engage the agencies where they might be deployed in. And then through that, we take them through an internship program, and at that point, we are ready to either absorb them in ICTO or to deploy them to agencies that might need specialized technology or systems development skills. Now, how will government benefit from the BGCP? Quickly, the software-enabled automated provisioning of your compute and storage requirements, the enterprise application and integration stack, and database systems via the government cloud via managed and defined service level standards. I know most of you fewer CIOs are having difficulty with managing service level agreements. So just imagine if we can all bundle together as a collaborative to create a service level standard that is applicable across the whole of government. Second, we have a mentored and managed compliance to global e-government standards. We've heard all of these standards from the World Economic Forum to the IMF to the World Bank to all sorts of different three-letter acronym that's not inside of the country. Well, our challenge is the CIOs, I don't have sufficient time in order to do the compliance. Well, here is iGov now to actually help mentor and bring it to that level of compliance progressively. Rapid increase in the Philippine global standing and ranking in technology sophistication, as mentioned by Senator Agila earlier during the keynote. We really need to bring it up several notches. And then, of course, a progressive increase in the quality of citizen experience through a more efficient delivery of frontline services to the general public, because that's basically how we're going to be measured. Now, what have we accomplished from June 2012, from inception up to the present? Well, we published the GIF, Technology Interoperability Standards, the Information and Data Interoperability. We published the Philippine Government Common Platform Roadmap and Architecture. We've completed the Service Delivery Lifecycle Framework. We delivered on the National Government Standard Web Template, 39. It's actually being applied now to about roughly 250 different agencies. We've also deployed the National Public Key Infrastructure System, the Government Mail, the National Archives and Records Management System, the National PHP and Progressivo System is also now in production. However, as I will mention earlier, we are finalizing legal refinements to these latter systems. As far as the Government Common Platform, we've completed the specification design of the PGCP. We have completed the specifications designed for the National Government Portal. We have identified the collaborative groups involved in the generation of authoritative data registries, some of which will be discussed during the breakaway sessions this afternoon. What are the ongoing initiatives? Well, we will be convening and organizing the collaborative groups to define the GIF processing interoperability standards within specific operating frontline service contexts. On the shared applications, we have ongoing implementation of the national government's single sign-on system, the ongoing legal refinements required to deploy the PHP and Progressivo systems, the ongoing detailed design for the persistent enterprise document management system. If anybody of you has used Drive, has used Box, has used OneDrive or Google Drive, this is the replacement for all that, but now it will be a persistent component of the portal, where it will also be enabled by workflow capabilities, and that is already currently in design. Ongoing system hardening and security activities, which during the breakaway sessions you can actually ask a little bit more. For the PGCP and the MGP, we're preparing the tender for the Philippine Government Common Platform. We are preparing the tender for the National Government Portal. We began consultation meetings with the SUCs concerning the iGov capacity development program as well. What are our implementation targets? And again, the caveat, the disclaimer here is that provided that our kickoff begins in August 2015. The PGC Cloud, IaaS, and PaaS environment is scheduled for realization for the fourth quarter of this year. The API Web Service Standards Catalog is the last quarter of this year, 2015. The collaborative environment would be the setup of that environment as well, as it is part and parcel of that IaaS and PaaS environment, is also the last quarter of this year. The National Government Portal, PGCP Enterprise Core Stack and Service Bus, provided we get started in August 2015, is slated for quarter 1 of 2016. The GCP authoritative registry environment, not just the registry itself, would be first quarter of 2016. And the big data repository and data warehouse is quarter 2 of 2016, as it requires a huge level of sourcing and contribution for different agencies represented here this morning. What's our next step? Well, essentially, it comes down to what government needs from you. What does iGov need from you? First, we need for you to engage, to become become part of the solution of an integrated and interoperable government. Again, you must, top of mind must be, gone should be those days where I have to present 2 government-issued IDs. I should be able to present any form of ID that's issued by the government, and that should be sufficient. Gone should also be the days where we focus more on what differentiates us and emphasize more on what unifies us. So we need you to engage us. Second, we need you to collaborate so that to realize that interoperability and achieve with the whole of government world-class service efficiencies and quality, we need that collaboration. We cannot do this alone. So we need you. Third, we need you to deploy committed resources who will participate in delivering a sustainable solution between your respective agencies, SUCs, LGUs, GOCCs, the various collaborative groups, and of course, the entire government. Finally, let me leave you with this nugget. The iGov Government Common Platform, or PGCP, not all, is not just about an interoperable technology platform. It is more importantly an explicit demonstration of our steadfast commitment as government to provide the highest quality of service to our people. And, of course, to demonstrate our resolve to compete regionally and globally as a competitively viable economy. Thank you for listening. Have a good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reyes. And we now open the floor for a few questions. So please feel free. Yes, start with Ms. Guillermo. Any questions for Dr.
Hello. Yeah, very beautiful. We look forward to Q4 of 2015.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. We look forward to that. We look forward, correct me if I'm wrong, the way you understood it. Parang you have a catalog, and as government agencies will choose from that catalog on what we're going to buy. Tama ba ka? Okay, now my question is, has this model been presented to COA and DBM or procurement insofar as in our procurement guidelines there is no such thing as like that, no? It seems that this catalog ordering way is not part of a bidding process, let's say. So how do we go about that? And I suggest that talks with them should already be done.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, that's part of the next stages of the breakaway, the collaborative policy discussions that will happen.
Not next stages, iparallel
Yes.
ninyo para
Yes,
in the fourth quarter na available na yan. As government agencies will already know how to go about it. And I don't know if there is a DBM representative here, how will our budget in 2016 so you can comment on that. With budget siya on procurement, no? But budget on, isn't it our 2016 budgets are already available? And we know that with this budget is a PPMP or an APP to which in that is listed how we are going to buy it.
Tutok na sa Wazzup Pilipinas, ibuti ng mundo, kainin ang gusto, alamin ng tamang daan kung paano ang umaseso. Kasama ang buong tropa ng Wazzup Pilipinas, aming ibibigay sa madla at ipapadanas ang saya ng Wazzup Pilipinas. Tutok na sa Wazzup Pilipinas, ang saya dito sa Pilipinas, ihahatid sa inyo ng Wazzup Pilipinas.